live Almost Punk podcast, episode 10 with Colin and Olga.
Yep. We are in the double digits of episodes.
Double digits. We've done it.
We are mature podcast now, guys.
Oh, heck yeah. Didn't you say last week 86% don't make it to 10? Something like that.
After 8. So now we're already each. I'm sure there's more that drop off every episode. So every week we're just in a more elite group of podcasts.
The Elite. We have to even just change the name of the podcast to the Elite Almost Punk Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we are in August 2020.
Yep.
Here we are.
The year that is taking us all for a ride. Except not a ride, it's a walk around our houses. That does not end.
Yeah. We, last episode 9, we interviewed Ephraim Schultz from Death by Stereo. They had their live stream CD release party, and we watched it.
It was so good.
Yeah, that was.
Everything he said, he was telling us about the lighting and the stage setup and how cool everything is going to be, and it still exceeded my expectations, even though he told us about it in great detail.
It was like I used to buy DVD live concerts of bands, or, not bootlegs, just straight up.
The official ones, yeah.
Official
when they record
ones.
A show, yeah.
And that's what it seemed like to me. It was like an official release live concert. That's the vibe it had. So it was really good.
It was really good.
The mix, the sound quality, even, we're on the internet. I didn't have a problem. You could tell there was a little bit of that on my replay when I watched it again afterward, when I was more with an analytical mind. Okay, it's not exactly the highest fidelity possible in the human existence, but no, it still sounded great.
Yeah, and I'm sure not have the highest quality when you're doing a live, but yeah, I thought it was really fun. It was really awesome. They definitely did have a lot of energy and acted like there was an audience watching them. It didn't feel like you're watching somebody in their living room or anything like that. Yeah, it was really awesome. And since we bought tickets to that, we have a week to watch it again. So I'll probably watch it again. They should just release it as a DVD trial, or maybe with a future merge bundle or something like that. I think people would watch it again. It was really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So it's like you agree to live stream, you buy it like you're going to a concert. And then afterward, you get to keep the audio and the video. And then all of a sudden, then I don't feel bad about it. I have no qualms at that point. Then I'm like,
so you want to be able to. So if you're doing live streams, you want to have access to it, like lifelong access to the performance.
Yeah, because then I feel like, okay, now I can listen to it whenever I want to. I paid for it. I was there.
Yeah.
And it was a great show. And it's like, when bands play, they're playing the hits, the songs that people want to hear, and the new songs that people haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
So it's in that it documents the time that I would like to hear.
I guess from logistics standpoint, that's a little bit difficult because somebody has to host it. And in 20 years, how many people are going to be logging on to watch a performance that happened this year? And then is it worth still to host it? But maybe if they did something like a year or 5 years, it would be easier and people would like that.
Yeah, because I was just thinking of a download that you would download afterward and you own it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess none of us would.
Give me the MP3.
People are probably not going to rewatch stuff as much as they think they will.
For me, the audio, I'm certainly not going to watch it, but I would definitely, if I had the MP3,
you would just listen to it.
I would listen to it on my car, my phone, whatever, because I like the music. Like, I really liked that performance.
Yeah.
And they played almost every song that I wanted to hear. There was a couple that I didn't get. That they didn't play.
Because they have so much.
They have a ton of songs,
releases.
But I was like, I like every single song that they played.
Yeah.
And now I don't have to make a playlist, but it was like the sound volume different, album sounds different. This is a blast of goodness, and I just liked.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, food for thought for
that would be
bands
cool.
out there.
Yeah, you can own at least an MP3 download of the.
Yeah, if they did that,
if you could do that, that would be really cool.
Then I'm totally doing that, like for more bands with no.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I like it. I like that idea.
now we have solved live streaming. We've been
We've been solving it since the pandemic has started. We've been giving so many suggestions to the music industry. Just there you go.
We want a hi-fi performance. We want top-notch audio video, and we want a download after it's over. And at that point, we will pay for it. That's what it takes.
That's right. Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Reasonable demands.
So that was the good news, and then
that
you
was the
sent
good
me
news.
a lot of bad news.
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. So there's been a lot of drama going on, which I guess is pretty consistent with everything going on in 2020 in general. So there's a music festival that happens here in Bay Area. It's in Oakland, and I think they were going to be on their 11th year this year. It's called Burger Boogaloo. I haven't been myself.
Have tickets? I thought you had tickets.
I was going to go this year. This was the first year I was planning on going because Bikini Kill was playing.
Yeah. The bad news has come, and
yeah,
the Boogaloo drama.
The Boogaloo drama is that there was a lot of allegations of sexual misconduct with the record label that was somewhat associated with the festival and no longer is. Yeah, and it seemed like there's a couple of artists that came out against it. I started to look into it, and then it started becoming a rabbit hole of like how much stuff there was going on behind the scenes. It was crazy. And how many people are involved. I guess some bands and basically they now have closed down the record label. Like they first came out to say, that was another reason I just stopped going down the rabbit hole, because the links were no longer working, because they posted that they're going to take it seriously and they're going to address the situation. And then none of the links started working for me. And I was thinking, that's strange. But then I found out it's because they took down all their social media and I think even their website, because they decided to just close down the label.
Yeah, so it's Burger Records. And then they're like, okay, we're going to change our name to Burger Records, but without any of the vowels. It was just going to be consonants.
B-R-G-R-R.
For some reason, that solves the problem.
Yeah.
And then they had the Burger Girl imprint that they were going to do as a response to not, no, we're not against women. We have a whole women record label. And then, like you said, all of those ideas failed and they just shut it down.
I mean, I don't even know if they failed. You can't really start a successful imprint in 48 hours and decide it has failed. But maybe they realized that, I don't know, because the leadership has changed. And then so then now somebody has to deal with a brand that's in crisis during the worst financial time for anybody to be starting a record label. So maybe it just seemed like too much effort. I don't know.
Yeah, I think closing was, as far as an economic thing, who's going to buy an album from them anymore? Not me.
Yeah.
So I think most people would think like I am. They're done.
Yeah.
I bet you just some time will pass and then those same people will start something and call it something else and just add some people that weren't involved in the first place, and then they don't look bad anymore. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure how I feel about closing being as the right solution. On one hand, I guess that's the easier thing to do. On the other hand, it doesn't acknowledge what happened in a serious way. It doesn't try to, not that you can make up to people for things like that. You can't even begin to make it up to these people, of course, but it's just like, it's the easy thing to do. It's you just close shop and run. And it's not the hard thing to do, which would probably be the better thing to do. Whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, because they pretty much get away with whatever they've done. And I guess the accusations is they're like grooming underage girls to become their sex toys down the road later. Yeah. Like groupies or whatever. I guess that's what it is. Underage groupies.
But on the other hand, if that's what they're being investigated for, they might never own a business. Like they might be in jail forever. Like that's highly.
And I wonder if they close down the record label, they close the office, they have nothing to do with it anymore. then maybe the investigation kind of dies down for them. Maybe it was their way to, we'll lay low now and go away, and they'll know we don't have any money for them to come take.
Right.
So no one's going to care anymore. Or we're not going to get sued, and we won't go to jail. We'll just nip it in the bud.
Yeah, so you stay out of the spotlight, so then not as many people are following the case.
And then the other thing about that record, the festival, the Burger Boogaloo. Now Boogaloo is like some racist right-wing BS thing as well.
Yes.
So they had to change the name of the festival. I don't know what it's going to be called yet. But the company that put it on is called Total Trash. And they were going to put on the Burger Boogaloo. And now it's not, Burger is gone. And and
Boogaloo is also not good.
Is stupid. Like, why would you use that? So now, like,
Total Trash, the Total Trash Weekend or Festival. There you go.
That'd be better. Okay, fine. You named it. It's much better than
whatever they had. Or Totally Trash, because that's what you'll be after you hang out there for 3 days. See, that sounds like a fun weekend without.
I should probably mention the Boogaloo name that they named it, Total Trash, is not involved with that movement of Boogaloo anything.
No, but
so I
that we know of.
Yeah,
that we know.
That we know of.
Given current information available, because
oh my goodness,
I don't know what's going to happen Tuesday of next week, the way this year's going, right?
Yeah, and that segues right into the next problem that you found.
There was on the topic of white supremacy, moving right along, Michael Graves, who was a former member of the Misfits, he stepped out and announced that he supports Proud Boys, which is this
same as the Boogaloo's.
which is like a white supremacy all male group, and then he supports Trump, and he is refusing to apologize for, he
says, I am a proud Western chauvinist. What? Like, I don't know. F that guy. God.
Yeah. So he was in Misfits for about 5 years. And then everybody kind of started criticizing him, even though he was like, I'm proud, I don't care. And then what did he do? He just deleted the post, and he deleted all his social media. And that's what's crazy about this, the day and age we live in, is that deleting your social media is a thing you can do to avoid contact from people. Because, I mean, especially during COVID, where that's how a lot of us are communicating. But even without COVID, that's just where people spend so much time, and that's how you stay updated on the bands or the things you care about. And so then deleting your account is like something people do when they're going through a PR crisis.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't delete his stuff, but I have a problem with how he thinks, and that not the fact that he has a social media account. Like, that's the least the worst part of the whole thing. Is it's like, just what we need is another middle-aged white dude who's just on the wrong side of history and is proud to be so. But then now that people are criticizing you, you're like, oh crap, I better delete my Instagram. Like, that's just so cowardly to me.
Yeah, and as a fan here, not of him.
Yeah,
I'm a punk fan. I feel like now, before I get into any band, I'm now going to vet them like it's an interview process, and I'm doing a background check, because at this point, I cannot be disappointed anymore. I can't just be like, oh, that band is cool, and not pay attention to the lyrics. Like, I normally don't pay attention. The lyrics are the last thing I pay attention to. But now I have to, like, what are they singing about? I have to look into this. What do these people do in their spare time? What do they think about all these topics that I care about? And
you have to know people on a personal level.
And then I go, and now do I like the music?
Yeah, it's because, and that's going to be a full time. I know, I'm scared that we'll promote a band or talk about a band on this podcast, and I'm not going to know everything they've ever done.
We're going to be preliminary bands, like bands that I might get into after I'm done vetting them.
you hate everyone until proven otherwise.
That's
That's the 2020 going forward mentality, is you hate. And I saw a meme about that. So somebody else had the same idea as you. They were like, oh, I'm going to Google band name and the word problematic to see what is, because there's been so much, even when we were watching the emo nights racism chats, like they were mentioning some drama that happened to other bands, I think Brand New, and I was like, what happened? I still haven't found it, but I'm like, okay, well, what's going on with that? I'm not sure what's going on, but I have heard that there's been some problematic stuff with them.
We should probably figure that out so we don't accuse people before knowing the details.
Okay. Another thing I think about is band tattoos. Like a lot of people, myself included, like people have band tattoos, and imagine you have a tattoo and this guy comes out being like, I'm in Proud Boys. It's like, it's a nightmare.
Okay, you are verified. Brand New. Frontman accused of sexual misconduct, and then he said he developed a dependent and addictive relationship with sex, leading him to hurt people, mistreat them, lie, and cheat. So, verified. Bad. And you know what I did to find that? I typed Brand New problematic. I took your advice.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. It was a meme, but see, that's how all the good information gets passed now, is memes.
Yeah, and it's interesting now because I'm a huge Ramones fan. They're the band that got me into punk in the first place. I was very young anyway, but you know, Johnny Ramone is a Republican. I don't know to what extent of how stiff he was on that, but I know he said a lot of things that, looking back, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't get along with this guy. I don't like them. But then on the other hand, you know, Marky Ramone and Joey Ramone were very, you know, liberal, and they were not into that kind of behavior. And so I think, like, okay, Ramone's still good. Dee Dee seemed to just go back and forth. He's a wild man. I don't know. But I can't imagine, like you're saying, you get a tattoo. It's your favorite band, and then they just let you down like that, and you find out who they really are, and you just got to throw them in the trash. You got to throw them in the trash. They're garbage.
Yeah. It's tough because you don't want to support those bands, and it sucks for the bandmates because you might not even know that. Like I really feel for some of these bands. There's like one person who did horrible things, and the rest of the band is fine. And yes, there's cases where people stand by and watch things, but there's cases where you're not involved with what somebody, just because you're in a band together doesn't mean you're around each other 24/7 and you agree on every single thing, or you know what they're doing in their personal life. You don't necessarily know what they're doing. Some bands are very close and live together, best friends, and some bands are more like coworkers. They don't really hang out outside.
Remember, as I lay dying, the front man put in jail for attempting to kill his wife, like put out a hit on her or whatever, and the rest of the band, I mean, the whole thing goes down the toilet. And it's not like it's not like every band member was trying to kill people. Just the front man. So I think he's already been to jail and he's out by now.
They were supposed to tour this year.
So they're back.
They're back. Yeah.
Wow. So
yeah.
It's
been crazy. And yet it's not surprising. Like that's what's sad is it's these things.
Can you go to an As I Lay Dying show? I'm not putting you on the spot. I just meant you certainly have to. You have to think about it now. Hey, that guy literally tried to kill someone, not as a self-defense thing. He just didn't like his wife and wanted to kill her. And now I'm gonna go buy a T-shirt with that band's name on it.
Have you heard of divorce?
But then on the other hand, it's like, okay, well, he got convicted. He served his time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know, man. I guess I got to think about it a little more, but my default is going to be no. Well, you're right. I mean, the pessimist in me says that there's going to be a lot more of this that we'll be talking about, because it's not like
so too.
Racism ain't going away. And
and people being
terrible. Murder every day also. And
and musicians not respecting people and women. That's
sexual misconduct amongst musicians. Shocker.
Yeah, shocking. I know it's not shocking.
Oh yeah.
Yep. brighter side, there is Bad Religion has a new book. They are going to be releasing their first autobiography, talking about their 40-year career. It's coming out this month of this year. It's available on
August 18th.
pre-order. Yeah.
Do What You Want, the story of Bad Religion.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a band that's like has a lot of juicy sort of things that make most music autobiographies really exciting to read.
Yes.
I don't know, but maybe if I read the book, I will know. I am curious about it.
Yeah, I feel like I got to read it no matter what.
Uh-huh.
But you're right. It could be more of a philosophical type of thing, like
Yeah.
serious and the history and what they've done, rather than wild stories they've seen on the road, like the NoFX book,
Yeah. The
which was
NoFX book.
out of control. You got to read it. That's mandatory reading.
It is mandatory reading. It is really good, and there's some heavy topics it gets into.
Super. So that book is dark.
It is and it hits you like early in first 20 pages.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I
was
know
not
what I
ready
was
for
getting
that.
into. You know, like you watch Backstage Passport season 1, and it's kind of just a happy-go-lucky, funny little travel around the globe with no effects playing shows. Season 2, not the same as season 1. That's much darker, especially when you watch the bonus footage. That was a whole nother thing. So yeah, Bad Religion. I don't know because it hasn't come out yet, but we'll definitely be monitoring the situation.
Yeah. And so then they also had a new track, which is a remake of their previous track called Faith Alone. And that came out, I think, this week, a couple days ago. And it is more of a sort of stripped down version of the song.
It's a piano and string version. I listened to them back to back. I mean, it's not my thing, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
I think my take was they were really trying to prove a point lyrically and reiterate the message. But as far as comparing it to the original, like the original, it's a mid-tempo punk song, and this has just removed all the guitars and the drums and all, like the stuff I like. So for me, But what do you think?
I mean, I liked it. I thought it sounded good, but yeah, it's not. You have to be in a different mood. The original is you're in the mosh pit mood, and the second one is you're just drinking wine and thinking about how much everything sucks mood.
So that is the key.
Yeah, maybe you have to, or like
I'll go back and try again.
Yeah, or maybe I don't drink bourbon, but it sounds like a sophisticated drink where you're just like, I'm being sophisticated right now. I'm gonna listen to, the acoustic Bad Religion. That's me being sophisticated, grown up.
So I mentioned the lyric thing and then explain what I was talking about. The chorus is faith alone won't sustain us anymore. So it's a call to action, basically. Just saying, like, you can't assume that the world's going to be good because you have a belief that things are going to be good. And I'm glad that they are spreading that message, because I'm not a fan of The Secret or whatever, I talk about that, where, just having a positive attitude at all times is all you need for good things to happen. That's all you need. I think you need to take action for anything to happen, and having a positive attitude about stuff adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah, and I mean, I think then the timing couldn't be better. There's just so many things going on in the world, and we have to take a stand, and you have to be aware of them and not just hope everything works out for the best. No, you have to be actively educating yourself and doing the right thing. So I thought the timing of it is appropriate.
We're just moving on to the new releases that caught our eye for the week.
Yeah. So I was really excited that there was a new release from Blaqk Audio, which is a side project of Davey and Jade from AFI. And it's like a synthy side project. They've had a couple of releases since 2007. And I think I really like their first album still the most. And I think this one, it's called Black Palms. It was kind of a surprise. They kind of trailered it on online a couple days, and then they drop the release, and it's available on, you know, wherever you stream your music. And they have a lot of cool merge bundles and things like that on their website for it.
And for people that don't know Blaqk Audio, you would, since it's got two guys from AFI, you would assume it would have an AFI sound, which is when they first started. I was assuming there would be somewhat of an AFI sound, and I thought it would just be a new wavy version of AFI. Totally wrong. This is electronic dance music.
The closest AFI album I think that is to Blaqk Audio is December Underground.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's completely not, if you're expecting AFI, no, think more of like Depeche Mode. think
of Dead or Alive, the song You Spin Me Round. That's what I think of that song. I'm like, that song sounds just like that.
I think they covered that song.
Oh, well, then it makes sense, because when I listened to the new one that you just mentioned, that's why I was like, oh my God, that sounds like Dead or Alive.
Okay.
And I actually, I like the music, the electronic dance music. I actually like the attitude that they have in the song, plural. The vocals do throw me for a loop. They are high pitched on that electronic music. But I would check them out live. I mean, it's got to be a good show.
I have seen them live.
I should say I have seen them live myself. That was where the whole Davey Havoc was on stage for an hour, jumping up and down like a maniac, and did not have a drop of sweat under his armpits. That started a whole. Well, maybe we'll talk about that some other day. But
our friend group still talks about that. We are still amazed, and when we interview Davey Havoc, we are going to get to the bottom of this.
That is true. We were talking, who should we have on? Well, if we can, and we'll tell him what it's specifically about. So that way he won't have any hesitation, because we're not going to ask him any personal questions. We're not going to ask him anything other than, how the heck do you go up there and not have any armpit sweat?
Sweaty people everywhere want to know.
I mean, I am sitting here right now sweating like a pig, and I have not moved. So
and he wore a full suit.
Full suit.
He was jumping, like, they're great live, energetic, and no sweat, no underarm. You know, when he raised his hands up, there's no weird, awkward puddle of sweat that the rest of us have during summer. No. Amazing. But yeah, it is good dance music if you feel like dancing, but you're not into mainstream dance music that all your friends listen to, that has nothing, that's just not your thing.
I think that's what I was getting at when I was talking about, I would go and I'd have a good time, because I can't go to a dance club in the modern world and listen to the modern stuff and go dance, because I don't dance well. But for some reason, I think that I can dance to electronic dance music just fine. I don't know what that's. We've been doing it. Remember? We go clubbing. It's not like we didn't go clubbing. We didn't go dance it.
The last time you and I went to a dance night, I was expecting more alternative music. They didn't have it, so I just stopped dancing and I just sat at a bar alone, because I was confused on what to even do at this point.
And I don't know. To Robin, we were dancing like maniacs at Robin.
It was dance party, not live show. But I have seen her live as well.
If you're gonna dance to like Robin type music, then you got no problem with Blaqk Audio. You'll have an awesome time.
And they're so fun live. They put on a good show. You know, Davey is a great front man. Obviously, he's into it. He dances around. It's fun. Am
I gonna prefer them to AFI though? No.
But
I just. You know, some bands, they put out their side project, and you're like, their side project's better than their main project. Well, I'm not willing to go there, but
fair. I mean, and I think also because we prefer AFI type of music. To be fair, you know, that's more of our thing.
I have my likes and dislikes, and biases and whatnot. I was just
But what's interesting to me about that release is that they do so many genres well. Like these. Davey and Jade, I think they've also had another side project together that was hardcore, and it's like, how do you do that? How do you make several different types of music, and how are you so knowledgeable in all these genres that, you know, most people don't even know about or have like a very surface level understanding of? So that's really impressive to me.
I guess when you're an artist and you're good, you can do those things.
Maybe,
But I don't. I can't.
Yeah.
So I was
So,
wondering about that
my,
artist thing versus non-artist thing. Some people, they say out loud, oh, I'm an artist.
yeah.
And I always think people say I'm an artist to get out of having to do work.
Mhm.
It's just a personal bias. So, but then you talk about how good they are at all the different things that they do. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll
That's a
give
lot of
them a
work.
pass.
Yeah.
I will accept them calling themselves out as artists if they're like that. So I don't know. I guess I'm a mean person where I'm only allowing some people to get away with calling themselves artists and some people not, depending on how
If
much
they're
work they
good or
have to
you
do.
like them.
Yeah. If you're good and I like, oh, I think you nailed it. If you're good and I like you and you call yourself an artist, I accept that. Good. If not, then you're just trying to get out of work and I don't like it.
It's a cool release to check out. And then the other newish stuff I found was MXPX. They did some, the singer of MXPX, Mike Herrera, he's also currently in Goldfinger. He did some quarantine sessions and did a live quarantine album. I guess he started doing live sessions, as a lot of bands have been doing, and recorded it on Friday nights in April and May of this year. I'm not an MXPX fan, and so I don't really need to listen to acoustic versions of their songs. But
I think about that too. Me neither. But on the other hand, I don't want to hate on all the punks. If you know MXPX and you like MXPX, you will like Fever Dream and you will like Life in Quarantine.
Yeah, you have to usually be a bigger fan to like bands covers, acoustic songs, rare songs, B-sides, and so on. So it makes sense. If you're not as big of a fan of a band, you're probably gonna like the hits more.
And I just had 2 tracks, my 2 picks of the week here.
Okay.
Real quick. Because we talked about Bad Religion earlier and how they had like that stripped down song and then they had the original from the Against the Grain album. And I was like, okay, I just happened to stumble across the band Don't Sleep and the song No Other Way. And I thought they sounded in the vein of Bad Religion, more like Pennywise. They actually sound a lot more like Pennywise. But, you know, Pennywise does also sound like Bad Religion also. So I'm like, okay. So if you like Bad Religion and you like Pennywise and you want something new to listen to, the band is Don't Sleep. The song is No Other Way. That's my pick of the week. I like that. Nice. It was good. And then you were talking about the Burger Boogaloo Festival and how Bikini Kill was playing the show. There, of course, that concert's not happening anymore, and Bikini Kill's tour is canceled until next year.
Yeah.
My second pick was the Lippies, I'm a Reactor. Because I thought, okay, we've been disappointed. The bands we want to see aren't playing. We don't have anything new to listen to from all these bands. So that's why I thought the Lippies, check them out. I'm a Reactor. It's the name of the song. If you like Bikini Kill, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. Almost like the Gits. They're similar to the Gits as well. So if you like the Gits, check them out. The Lippies. Also, just like I was saying, Bad Religion, Pennywise. Band is Don't Sleep. No Other Way. Those are my 2 picks.
Nice. And I think that about wraps it up this week.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. You can rate, review, subscribe to our podcasts. I think you can only rate on Apple Podcasts. If you have a friend that might enjoy it, please share it with a friend. And you can follow us on Instagram at Almost Punk, where I post when we have new episodes and what we're going to be talking about.
See you next time.
Yep. Bye.